Alex Mason opened his eyes to the bright green light filtering through the jungle canopy. His head hurt. His ship was broken. Pieces of metal were scattered around him in the small clearing where he had crashed 3 days ago. Day 4 on this planet, Alex said to his recorder. Still no response to emergency signal. Alex was a scientist who studied alien life forms. He worked for the Earth space team, traveling to new planets to learn about strange plants and animals. This mission was supposed to be simple: fly to the jungle planet Viridia, collect samples, and return home. Now his ship was destroyed, and he was alone. He looked at his supplies. Food for 2 more weeks. Water filter working well. Basic tools for research and survival. His emergency beacon was sending signals, but he had no idea if anyone could hear them. The jungle around him was alive with sounds. Strange birds called from the trees. Small creatures rustled in the bush. Huge flowers with purple and red petals opened and closed as if they were breathing. In his 3 days here, Alex had seen amazing life forms, but no signs of intelligent beings. Alex picked up his tools and walked deeper into the jungle. He needed to find more fresh water. The air was hot and sticky, making his clothes wet with sweat. Tall trees with blue-green leaves stretched up hundreds of feet. Vines as thick as his arm hung down, some moving slightly even when there was no wind. As the sun began to set, Alex felt uneasy. The feeling of being watched had grown stronger. All day, he turned quickly several times, hoping to catch sight of whatever was following him. But the jungle was too thick, too full of shadows. Just animals, he told himself, just curious animals. Back at his camp, Alex built a small fire. The night on Viridia was dark, with 3 small moons giving only weak light. As he cooked his dinner, he heard a new sound, a soft clicking. Noise coming from all around him. Alex grabbed his light and knife. He stood up slowly, turning in a circle. The clicking grew louder. Then he saw them, eyes reflecting his light from the darkness. Many eyes at different heights surrounding his camp. "Hello?" Alex called out. "I come in peace. I'm a scientist from Earth." The clicking stopped. For a moment, everything was silent. Then from the jungle stepped a creature Alex had never seen. Before it stood on 2 legs like a human, but was covered in scales that shimmered green and gold in the firelight. Its face was long and reptile-like, with sharp teeth showing when it opened its mouth. It stood 7 feet tall, with a muscular body and a long tail. In its hands it held a spear made of some shiny metal. More creatures just like it stepped out from the trees until Alex counted 12 of them. They wore simple clothes made of leather and metal, with jewels and bones as decorations. They looked intelligent and dangerous. Alex slowly put down his knife. "I mean no harm," he said, though he doubted they understood. The tallest of the reptile people made a gesture. 2 others moved forward and grabbed Alex by the arms. Their grip was strong but not painful. The leader pointed into the jungle, then made a walking motion with its fingers. "You want me to come with you?" Alex said. He nodded. "Okay, I'll come." They took his emergency beacon and a few of his tools, then led him away from the camp. The jungle at night was even more strange and beautiful. Plants glowed with blue and green light. Flying creatures with glowing bodies moved between the trees. Like living stars. The reptile people moved quickly, forcing Alex to jog to keep up. After an hour of travel, they reached a river. On the bank sat several large boats made of wood and metal. The reptile people pushed Alex into one, then climbed in after him. As they traveled downriver, Alex began to see lights ahead. At first, he thought they were more glowing plants. Then he realized they were too regular, too orderly. They were lights from buildings. The boats rounded a bend in the river, and Alex gasped. Before him stood a city unlike anything he had ever seen. Huge structures made of stone and living plants rose into the sky. Bridges connected treetop platforms. Lights in all colors shone from windows and doorways. The city seemed to be both built and grown, with buildings that were part stone, part living plant. "Amazing," Alex whispered. The boats docked at a stone pier. The reptile people led Alex through streets filled with more of their kind. Some were smaller, perhaps younger. Some wore elaborate clothes and jewelry. All stopped to stare at Alex. As he passed, they took him to the largest building in the center of the city. It was a pyramid made of green stone, with plants growing from every level. Inside, the halls were lit with glowing crystals. The walls were covered with paintings and carvings showing the history of these people. After climbing many stairs, they entered a huge room. At the far end, on a throne made of white stone and living vines, sat the most impressive of the reptile people Alex had seen. This one was clearly female, with more colorful scales and a crest of red feather-like spines on her head. She wore a dress made of shimmering material and many jewels. When she stood, she was taller than the others, nearly 8 feet in height. Her yellow eyes studied Alex with clear intelligence. The guards pushed Alex forward until he stood before her. The reptile queen circled him, looking him up and down. She reached out and touched his face, his hair, his hands. Her scales were smooth and warm. One of the guards handed her a small device that looked like it came from Alex's ship. She pressed a button, and a light scanned Alex from head to toe. Then she spoke. And to his shock, her words were translated by the device. "I am Ciala, queen of the Viridian people," she said, her voice deep and powerful. "We have watched your kind for many years as you move among the stars." Alex swallowed hard. "I am Alex Mason, a scientist from Earth. I mean no harm to your people." Queen Ciala's mouth curved in what might have been a smile. "Harm? No, human, you will not harm us." She leaned closer. "You will save us." She pressed another button on the device. A hologram appeared between them, showing DNA strands, one human, one Viridian, merging together. "My people face extinction," Queen Ciala said. "Our numbers grow smaller each generation. Our children are fewer, weaker. We need new blood." Her yellow eyes fixed on Alex's face. "Your blood?" Alex felt a chill despite the warm air. "I don't understand." "You will," Queen Ciala said. "Our scientists have studied many species. Only humans have the genetic pattern that can mix with ours to create healthy offspring. And you, Alex Mason, have the strongest match we have ever found." She stepped back and sat on her throne again. "You will help create a new bloodline. My bloodline. You will father the children who will save my species." Alex stared at her in shock. "But I can't just... I have to go home eventually." Queen Ciala nodded. "In time. When your work is done." She made a gesture, and the guards took hold of Alex's arms again. "Rest now, learn our ways. Accept your new purpose." As they led him away, Alex looked back at the reptile queen. She watched him with those intelligent yellow eyes, and he realized with growing dread that she had been planning this for a long time, and he had no idea how to escape. The room they gave Alex was nice, but he could not leave it. The door was locked from outside. The windows were too high and too small to climb through. It had been 3 weeks since the reptile people had brought him to their city. Each day followed the same pattern. In the morning, a female reptile named Cora would bring him food and new clothes. Cora was shorter than Queen Ciala, but moved with the same grace. She had blue-green scales and wore a silver band around her arm that marked her as someone important. "You must learn our ways," Cora told Alex on the first day. She spoke through the translator device they had taken from his ship. "Queen Ciala has chosen you. This is a great honor." Alex did not feel honored. He felt trapped. But he was smart enough to know that fighting would not help him escape. He needed to learn about these people first. "Teach me then," he said to Cora. "I want to understand." So began his lessons about the Viridian people. Cora taught him their language, their history, and their customs. She showed him maps of their world and explained how their society worked. The Viridians were ruled by women. Each family group, called a clutch, was led by the oldest female. Queen Ciala led the royal clutch, which ruled all the others. They lived long lives, up to 200 Earth years, but had very few children. "This is our problem," Cora explained one day. She showed Alex a chart with falling numbers. Each generation, fewer eggs hatch. Those that do are often weak. "We are dying slowly." "Why me?" Alex asked. "Why humans?" Cora touched a button on her wrist device. A hologram appeared showing human and Viridian DNA. Long ago, there was a great war. Many died, our blood became weak. We need new strength. She pointed to spots where the DNA patterns matched. Humans are different but compatible. You are most compatible of all humans we have tested, Alex frowned. You've tested other humans? There are others here? Cora looked away. You will see. The next day, Cora took Alex out of his room for the first time. 2 guards followed them as they walked through the city. Alex saw that it was even larger and more beautiful than he had first thought. The buildings rose high into the sky, with plants growing on and through them. Viridians of all sizes moved through the streets. Some rode on large lizard-like animals. Others worked in open markets selling food, cloth, and jewels. Many stopped to stare at Alex. Some looked curious. Others seemed angry to see him. They do. Not all agree with the Queen's plan, Cora said quietly. Some think we should find our own solution. At the edge of the city, they entered a building made of red stone. Inside, Viridians in white clothes worked with strange machines. This was clearly some kind of science center. In a small room at the back, Alex got his biggest surprise. A human woman sat at a desk working on a computer. She had light brown hair and looked to be in her 30s. When she saw Alex, she stood up quickly. Another one, she said in English. I told Ciala we needed to wait longer. This is Lily Parker, Cora said to Alex. She has been with us for 2 years. Lily crossed her arms, not by choice at first. Though things are different now, Alex felt both relief and confusion. You're from Earth? Are you a prisoner too? Lily smiled slightly. I was a botanist on a research mission. My ship crashed, just like yours, I bet. Very convenient, these crashes. Cora stepped back. You two will talk. I will return later. She and the guards left. Closing the door behind them. As soon as they were alone, Alex moved closer to Lily. We need to escape. My ship is broken beyond repair, Lily finished for him. Just like mine was. They're very thorough. You've given up? Alex couldn't believe it. Lily shook her head. I've adapted. There's a difference. She gestured for him to sit. The Viridians aren't evil, Alex. They're desperate. Their species is dying. So they kidnap humans to use as breeding stock? Alex said angrily. It's more complicated than that. Lily turned on a screen that showed the Viridian birth rates over centuries. Look at this. In 50 more years, no. New Viridians will be born at all. They'll be extinct in 2 centuries. Alex studied the numbers. As a scientist, he understood extinction. It was always a tragedy when a species died out. But still, double quotes, what about our rights? He asked. Our choices? Lily's face softened. I felt the same way at first. I tried to escape 3 times. But then I started to understand them, to see them as people, not just reptiles. She touched his arm. And Ciala doesn't just want your genes, Alex. She could take those without your consent. What do you mean? She wants a partner, someone who understands both worlds. The father of her children needs to be someone who can help raise them, teach them about both human and Viridian ways. Lily smiled sadly. She's lonely, Alex. Being queen means having power but few friends. Alex thought about Queen Ciala's proud face and penetrating eyes. He had seen intelligence there, but not loneliness. You work for them now? He asked. With them, Lily corrected. I help them understand humans. And I'm working on alternative solutions to their genetic problems. She lowered her voice. Not all Viridians want hybrids. Some want to kill all humans who know about their world. I'm trying to keep us both alive. A sound at the door made them both turn. Queen Ciala entered, her tall form filling the doorway. Without her ceremonial clothes, she looked different, still regal, but somehow more real. You have met Lily, she said to Alex. Good. She will help you understand your place here? Alex stood up straight. And what exactly is my place? A prisoner? A breeding tool? Ciala's eyes narrowed. You are the future of my people. Your genes and mine will create children who can save us. And I have no say in this? Ciala stepped closer to him. She was so tall that Alex had to look up to meet her eyes. You may say yes with honor or say yes with resentment. The choice is yours, but my people will survive. Her voice softened slightly. I would prefer honor. I would prefer to know my children's father was willing. Alex looked at Lily, who nodded. Slightly. I need time, he said finally. Time to learn, to understand. Ciala seemed to relax a little. Time you shall have. 1 cycle of our largest moon, 28 of your Earth days. She turned to leave, then looked back. Join me for evening meal tomorrow. We will talk more. After she left, Alex turned to Lily. Is she always like that? Lily laughed softly. Intense? Yes, but fair, in her way. She touched his shoulder. My advice? Learn everything you can? About their culture, their science, their beliefs? Knowledge is your best tool right now, Alex nodded slowly. 28 days to figure out if I help save a species or find a way to escape. Lily's face grew serious. Be careful what you choose. Alex, the future of the Viridians really does depend on it. And maybe our future too. Alex sat across from Queen Ciala at a low table made of polished blue stone. The dining room was high in the pyramid, with open walls that looked out over the city. The 3 moons of Viridia hung in the sky, bathing everything in soft, mixed light. 2 weeks had passed since his meeting with Lily. Each day, Alex learned more about the Viridians. Each night, he thought about escape. But now, watching Queen Ciala eat with careful, precise movements, he felt confused about what he wanted. Your city is beautiful, Alex said. He had been learning the Viridian language, though he still needed the translator for most conversations. It has stood for 10,000 years, Ciala replied. My ancestors built it when they first learned. To shape stone and guide plants, she looked out at the view. I hope it stands for 10,000 more. A servant brought more food. The Viridians ate mostly meat and fruits. Alex had learned to enjoy their cooking, though some dishes were too spicy for him. Lily tells me you are learning quickly, Ciala said. She says you ask many questions. Alex nodded. I am a scientist. Asking questions is what I do. And what answers have you found? Ciala's yellow eyes fixed on his face. Before Alex could answer, the door burst open. A female Viridian rushed in. She was smaller than Ciala. With red and black scales, her face showed fear. My queen! There is trouble in the western quarter. Nara's supporters are breaking things and shouting against you. Ciala stood up quickly. Again? This is the 3rd time this moon cycle. She turned to Alex. You will come with me? It is time you saw the other side of our world. Alex followed Ciala and her guards through the city. They rode on large, 4-legged reptiles that moved quickly through the streets. As they got closer to the western part of the city, Alex could hear angry voices dot in a large square. About 50 Viridians were gathered. They carried torches and metal tools as weapons. At their head stood a female with bright orange scales and many jewels. She stood on a platform shouting to the crowd. That is Nara, Ciala said quietly to Alex, my cousin. She thinks she should be queen, Nara's voice carried across the square. Ciala would mix our royal blood with that of aliens. She would create half-breed children to rule us. This goes against all our traditions, all our laws? The crowd roared in agreement. Alex saw hate in their eyes when they looked towards Ciala and him. Ciala stepped forward, her head held high. The crowd grew quiet. Even in anger, they respected her position. My people, Ciala said, her voice strong, you know the truth. Our eggs grow fewer each year. Those that hatch are often weak. If we do nothing, there will be no more Viridians. Better to die pure than live mixed, Nara shouted. Some in the crowd cheered, but others looked uncertain. Is that what you truly believe, cousin? Ciala asked. That pride is more important than survival, than the future of our children? Nara pointed at Alex. This human is not fit to father royal children. He is weak, soft-skinned, without honor in battle. Alex felt angry at her words, but Ciala put a hand on his arm to keep him quiet. Honor is not just in battle, Ciala said. It is in wisdom, in sacrifice for the greater good. I have studied humans for many years. They are different from us, yes, but they are strong in their own ways. Their genes can save us. An older Viridian stepped forward from the crowd. My queen, we respect you, but Nara speaks truth too. No queen has ever taken a mate from another species. It is not our way, Ciala nodded. Old ways must sometimes change for life to continue, but I understand your fears. She looked around the square. In 2 weeks, at the Festival of Renewal, I will announce my final decision. Until then, go home in peace. Think about what matters most, our traditions or our future. The crowd began to break up. Some still looked angry, but most seemed willing to wait. Nara glared at Ciala, then at Alex. This is not over, she hissed as she walked past them. Back at the palace, Alex found Lily waiting. She looked worried. I heard about the trouble, she said. Nara is gaining support. Ciala removed her formal cloak. Without it, she looked tired. My cousin has always wanted my throne, she said. Now she uses this situation to turn my people against me. Alex sat down, thinking hard. She called me weak, without honor. Lily smiled a little. In Viridian culture, strength and fighting skill are very important, especially for males. Nara is saying you're not worthy to father royal children. I can't fight like a Viridian, Alex said. I don't have their strength or scales, Ciala turned to him. No, but you could show other strengths, intelligence, courage, these things. My people also respect. Later that night in his room, Alex could not sleep. He went to the window and looked out at the city. It really was beautiful. In his time here, he had come to respect the Viridians and their struggle to survive, but he still wanted to go home someday. He missed Earth, his family, his work. There was a soft knock at his door. When he opened it, he was surprised to see. Cora, come quickly, she said. There is something you must see? Alex followed her through dark hallways and down many stairs. They entered a part of the palace he had never seen before. The walls here were old and rough, not polished like the upper levels. They came to a large room filled with glowing eggs. Hundreds of them sat in nests of soft material. Most of the eggs glowed bright green or blue, but many were dark and some had cracks that leaked fluid. These are this year's royal clutch, Cora said softly. The ones that still glow may hatch. The dark ones are already dead. Alex walked among the eggs, counting. Over half were dark. There are so few, he said. Double quote. Yes, and fewer each year. Cora touched one of the glowing eggs gently. I have served the royal clutch for 80 years. When I was young, we had hundreds of healthy eggs each season. Now, she looked at Alex with sad eyes. Now we face the end. Alex knelt beside a glowing egg. He could feel slight movement inside. A new life fighting to survive. Why show me this? So you understand? This is not about Queen Ciala's wishes or even about you. It is about them, Cora gestured to the eggs. The last children of a dying people. When Alex returned to his room, he found a message waiting on his computer pad. It was from Lily, marked urgent. Meet me at the science building. At first light, it read. I've discovered something important. Tell no one. Alex fell into an uneasy sleep. He dreamed of eggs glowing in the dark, of angry crowds, and of Queen Ciala's eyes watching him, filled with hope and fear. The next morning, Alex slipped out early. The guards at his door had grown less watchful lately, as he had made no attempt. To escape at the science building, Lily pulled him quickly into her office and closed the door. I've been analyzing Viridian and human DNA more carefully, she said. She looked tired, as if she had been working all night. Alex, I don't think it's an accident that you crashed here. What do you mean? Lily turned on her computer. Look at these signals. They were sent from somewhere on this planet just before your ship malfunctioned. She pointed to a pattern on the screen. It was a targeted pulse designed to disable your systems. Alex stared at the data. They brought me down on purpose? Ciala did this? Not Ciala, Lily said, her voice dropping to a whisper. I traced the signal. It came from a facility in the mountains, one controlled by Nara's clutch. Nara? Alex was confused. But she hates humans. She's against Ciala's plan. That's what she says in public. Lily showed him more data. But she's been secretly studying human genetics, too. And there's more. She hesitated. I think there are other humans here, Alex. Prisoners in Nara's facility. Alex felt cold. We have to tell Ciala. Yes, but carefully. Nara has spies everywhere. Lily looked at the door nervously. If what I suspect is true, Nara isn't just planning to stop Ciala's breeding program. She wants to start her own in secret. With her eggs, not the queen's. A power grab, Alex said, understanding. If she has half-human children first, she could claim the throne, and who knows what she would do with that power. Lily's face was grim. We need proof before we go to Ciala. And I think I know how to get it. Alex and Lily moved through the thick jungle, following a narrow path. 3 days had passed since Lily's discovery. They had made a plan to find proof of Nara's secret work. The mountain facility is 5 miles ahead, Lily whispered. She checked. A small device in her hand. No guards on this path, but we need to be careful. Alex nodded. He carried a backpack with food, water, and some tools they had taken from the science building. Cora had helped them leave the city without being seen. The loyal Viridian didn't fully understand their plan, but trusted that it would help Queen Ciala. What exactly are we looking for? Alex asked as they climbed over a fallen tree. Proof that Nara has human prisoners. Evidence that she caused your ship to crash. Lily pushed aside a large leaf. And if I'm right, we'll find records of her own breeding program. The jungle grew thicker as they climbed higher into the mountains. Strange birds with 6 wings flew above them. Small lizards with glowing spots ran across their path. By midday, they reached a ridge that looked down on a clearing. In the clearing stood a building made of dark stone. Unlike the beautiful structures in the city, this one was plain and had few windows. Guards patrolled the area around it. That's it, Lily said. Nara calls it a research station, but few Viridians know what happens there. They watched the guards' movements for an hour, looking for patterns. The guards changed positions every 30 minutes, leaving a short gap on the east side. There's our way in, Alex said, pointing to a small door partly hidden by plants. They made their way down the ridge, staying low and moving slowly. When the guards moved to their new positions, Alex and Lily ran to the small door. Lily used a device to open the lock and they slipped inside. The hallway was dark and cold. They could hear machines humming somewhere deeper in the building. Using small lights, they moved carefully from room to room. Most rooms held lab equipment similar to what Alex had seen in the city's science building. But in one large room, they found something disturbing. Glass tanks lined the walls. Each tank held liquid and what looked like a developing embryo, some clearly showing mixed human and Viridian features. She's already started, Lily whispered in horror. Nara is creating hybrids. Alex looked more closely at the records on a nearby computer. These are failed attempts. None survived past early development. He scrolled through more data. She needs something. A specific genetic pattern. Lily suddenly grabbed his arm. She needs you, Alex, your genetic pattern. That's why she arranged for your ship to crash. A noise from the hallway made them both freeze. Voices were coming closer, speaking Viridian but too quiet to understand. Alex and Lily quickly hid behind a large machine in the corner. 2 Viridians entered the room. One was Nara, the other was a male lab worker. The latest tests failed again, the male said, showing Nara some data. We need the human male from the city. His genetics match what we need, Nara hissed in anger. Ciala keeps him too well guarded. We must wait for the festival of renewal. In the confusion, we will take him. And the other humans? The male asked. They have served their purpose. You get what genetic material you can, then dispose of them. Nara's voice was cold. Alex felt sick. Lily's face had gone pale. The Viridians left the room, still talking. As soon as they were gone, Lily pulled Alex toward another door. We need to find the other humans, she whispered. They moved deeper into the facility, more carefully now. Down a long stairway, they found a row of cells with thick metal doors. Each had a small window. Alex looked into the first cell and saw a human man lying on a thin mat. He looked weak and sick. The second cell held a woman who sat staring at the wall, her eyes empty, We have to free them, Alex said. Not yet, Lily replied. We need to get this information to Ciala first. If we try to free them now, we'll all be caught. Alex knew she was right, but leaving the prisoners felt wrong. He took pictures of the cells with his device. We need more proof of Nara's plan. Lily said they found a computer room and Lily began copying files while Alex kept watch. Suddenly an alarm began to sound. Red lights flashed in the hallway. They know we're here, Alex said. We need to go now. They ran back the way they had. Come. Guards were shouting and running through the halls. At a junction, Lily pulled Alex down a different corridor. This way, there's a service exit. They burst out a small door into the jungle just as guards rounded the corner behind them. Shots of energy hit the trees around them as they ran. Split. Up, Lily shouted. Meet at the river bend we passed. I have the data. Before Alex could argue, she ran off to the right. He went left, moving as fast as he could through the thick plants. He could hear guards following, but their heavy bodies made more noise than his dot. After 20 minutes of hard running, Alex stopped to catch his breath. The sounds of pursuit had faded. He checked his direction and began moving carefully toward the river meeting point. When he reached the river, there was no sign of Lily. Alex waited, hidden in the bush, watching for any movement. An hour passed. Then, too, Alex grew more worried. Had Lily been captured? Or worse? As the light began to fade, Alex heard something moving in the bush nearby. He picked up a heavy stick, ready to defend himself, but it was Cora who stepped into view, with 2 loyal guards behind her. Alex, she said with relief, we have been searching for you. Cora? How did you find me? Lily reached the city. She told us where to look for you. Cora looked around nervously. We must hurry. Nara's guards are searching the jungle. Lily made it back? Is she safe? Alex asked as they began moving quickly through the trees. Cora's face grew serious. She was injured. Nara's guards shot her as she escaped. But she gave the data to Queen Ciala before she collapsed. Alex felt cold fear. Will she live? Our healers are with her now. Her wounds are serious, but they think she will survive. Cora touched his arm. She is very brave, your friend. They traveled through the night, avoiding the search parties. By dawn, they reached the city. Instead of taking Alex to his room, Cora led him directly to the royal chambers. Queen Ciala was waiting, her face grim. She had been looking at the data Lily had stolen. You took a great risk, she said to Alex. But you have done my people a great service. Alex was too tired to be polite. Did you know? About the other humans Nara has prisoner? Ciala's eyes showed shock. No, this I did not know. She looked at the images Alex had taken. This dishonors all Viridians. What will you do? Alex asked. Sciy stood tall, her royal bearing fully visible. Justice will be done. Nara has committed crimes against both our peoples. She looked at Alex with new respect. The Festival of Renewal begins tomorrow. I had planned to announce my choice to make you the father of my clutch. She paused. Now I must also deal with treason. Alex met her eyes. And the human prisoners? They will be freed, of course. Ciala stepped closer to him. You care deeply for your kind. This is good. A strong mate protects his people. She touched his face gently. But now you must rest. Tomorrow will bring great danger for us all. As Alex was led away to his room, he realized something had changed. For the first time since arriving on this planet, Ciala had called him a mate. Not just a genetic donor. And for the first time, he wasn't sure if he still wanted to escape. The city glowed with thousands of lights. The Festival of Renewal had begun at sunset, and now all 3 moons shone in the night sky. Viridians filled the streets, wearing bright clothes and carrying glowing crystals. Music played from many places, drums, flute-like instruments, and singing voices. Alex stood on a balcony of the royal pyramid, watching the celebration. He wore formal Viridian clothes, a tunic of blue and silver with symbols of the royal clutch. Beside him stood Cora, looking worried. The queen is ready, she said. It is time. Alex followed her inside to a large room where Queen Ciala waited. She looked magnificent in her festival clothes, a long dress of green and gold, with a crown of living plants that glowed softly, but her eyes were serious. "Nera will be at the central square with her supporters," Ciala said. "We must be careful. She does not know what we have discovered." "What's the plan?" Alex asked. "I will announce my decision about you and the future of our people. When Nera objects, as she will, I will show the evidence of her crimes." Ciala checked a device on her wrist. "My loyal guards are freeing the human prisoners from her facility now." "And Lily?" Alex had not been allowed to see her since their return. "She is recovering. She will join us later if she can." Ciala touched Alex's arm. "Are you ready?" Alex thought about everything that had happened since his crash. He had been brought to this planet against his will. He had been told he would father a new species. He had discovered a plot against the Queen. And somehow, in all of this, he had begun to care for these strange reptile people and their struggle to survive. "I'm ready," he said. They rode to the central square on large lizard-like creatures decorated with flowers and glowing paint. The crowds cheered for their queen. Many looked at Alex with curiosity, but there was less hostility than before. In the square, a large platform had been built. Queen Ciala climbed the steps, with Alex and her guards following. The crowd grew quiet, waiting for her words. Near the front, Alex saw Nara with her supporters. She wore orange and black, with many jewels that caught the light. Her eyes were fixed on Ciala with clear hate. "People of Viridia," Ciala began, her voice strong. "For 1,000 years, the Festival of Renewal has been a time of hope and new beginnings. Today, we need that hope more than ever." She gestured to the sky. "Our ancestors taught us that change is the way of life. Those who cannot change die. Those who adapt survive." She turned to look at Alex. "The human among us represents change. A new path for our people." Murmurs ran through the crowd. Some nodded, others looked unsure. "I have decided," Ciala continued, "that Alex Mason will father my next clutch. His genes will bring new strength to our royal line. His wisdom and courage will help guide our children." Nara stepped forward, as expected. "This is wrong," she shouted. "No queen has ever taken an alien mate. It goes against all our traditions." Ciala looked calmly at her cousin. "Traditions change when they must, Nara, but there is something else the people should know." She held up a small device. "While you have spoken publicly against humans, you have secretly kept them prisoner. You have experimented on them without honor," the crowd gasped. Nara's eyes widened in surprise, then narrowed in anger. "You lie?" She hissed. "The evidence is clear," Ciala said. Images appeared in the air above the platform, pictures of the facility, the prisoners, the failed experiments. "You plan to create your own hybrid children to challenge the royal clutch." The crowd began to shout in anger. Nara looked around wildly, then at her supporters. Some were backing away from her. "The humans are nothing," Nara screamed. "Tools to be used and discarded." "I did what was needed for our people." "No," came a voice from the side of the platform. Lily walked slowly up the steps, helped by a Viridian healer. She looked pale and weak, but her eyes were bright with anger. "You did what was needed for your own power." Alex moved to help Lily stand. "You should be resting," he said quietly. "I needed to see this," she replied. She faced the crowd. "I am Lily Parker, a human who has lived among you for 2 years. I have worked to help the Viridian people because I believe your culture and your lives have value. Nara believes humans have no value. She would use us and kill us for her own gain." Nara suddenly pulled out a weapon, a small device that glowed with energy. She aimed it at Ciala. "If I cannot rule, then neither will you," she shouted. Everything happened very quickly. Guards moved toward Nara. People in the crowd screamed and tried to run. Alex pushed Lily down and jumped toward SIY Alado. The weapon fired. A blast of energy shot toward the queen. Alex felt burning pain as he knocked Ciala aside. They fell to the platform floor together as guards surrounded Nara. "Alex!" Ciala's voice seemed far away. "Alex, can you hear me?" He opened his eyes slowly. His side hurt terribly where the energy blast had hit him. Ciala leaned over him, her face showing fear. Not how I planned to impress you, Alex said weakly. Healers came quickly. They lifted Alex onto a stretcher and carried him back to the palace. The last thing he saw before losing consciousness was Ciala's face, her eyes never leaving his. When Alex woke up, he was in a soft bed in a room filled with plants and gentle light. His side was bandaged, but the pain had lessened. Lily sat in a chair nearby. When she saw he was awake, she smiled. The hero returns. How do you feel? Like I was hit by lightning, Alex said. What happened to Nara? Arrested. Her supporters, too. Lily adjusted her own bandages. The people are firmly behind Ciala now. Saving the Queen's life made you quite popular. Alex tried to sit up. I didn't think, I just acted. That's what impressed them, and her. Lily looked toward the door. As it opened, Queen Ciala entered, wearing simple clothes instead of her royal dress. She came to Alex's side and took his hand. You risked your life for mine, she said softly. No Viridian would have expected this from a human. I couldn't let her hurt you, Alex said. He realized it was true. Somewhere in these strange weeks he had begun to care for Ciala as a person, not just as an alien queen. Ciala sat on the edge of the bed. The human prisoners from Nara's facility are safe. We are helping them recover. When they are well, they will have a choice, to return to human space or to stay with us as honored guests. And me? Alex asked. Do I have a choice too? Ciala was quiet for a moment. Yes, I was wrong to force this role upon you. If you wish to leave, we will help you contact your people. Alex looked at Lily. And if I choose to stay? Lily smiled. Then you'll help create a new future for 2 species. She stood up. I'll leave you 2 to talk. After Lily left, Ciala moved closer to Alex. Our scientists say a true bond must be willing on both sides. I would not force you to be the father of my children, but I would welcome you as my chosen mate, if that is what you wish. Alex thought about Earth, so far away. He thought about his life there, his work, his home. Then he thought about what he had found here, a new world, a new purpose, and perhaps something he never expected, love for someone completely different from himself. I want to stay, he said finally. Not just to help your species, but to be with you, to see what we can build together. Ciala's eyes glowed with happiness. She leaned down and touched her forehead to his, a Viridian gesture of deep affection. Outside the window, the celebration continued. The Festival of Renewal had become something more this year, the beginning of a new chapter for the Viridian people. And for one human who had found his place among the stars. In time, Alex and Ciala's children would indeed create a new bloodline. They would carry the strength of 2 worlds, 2 species, 2 hearts that had found each other across the vastness of space. And in their unity, both humans and Viridians would discover a future brighter than either could have imagined alone.